What's up YouTube? My name is Jake. I'm a rig welder out here in West Texas, and today's going to be my part 2 on how to be a welder's helper. Today I'm going to be covering how to use your levels and your jack stands. Also, what type of hood to get yourself when you're first starting out. The different type of levels that are going to be out is going to be your 4-footers, your 2-footers, and then your torpedoes. Your torpedoes are normally from 7 to about 9 inches long. This one's actually 10 inches long, so that's normally what a torpedo level is going to be. So if they ask you for a torpedo level, this is what they're talking about. And then these are going to be your jack stand. Couple quick tips: you can swing them to open them, and you can use the back of your heel to just close them up real fast, just like that. Open them up with a twist, just like that. I always see people try to use these things and they never know what's going on. They always try to lift this up or whatever. Whenever you're setting up a piece of material, you're gonna set one. I kind of match the thread, so if it has like 2 or 3, I match it. Make sure it's loose. Lift it up. Your ground's more than likely not gonna be level, but you kind of put them about the same height. You can kind of just look down the V and kind of just, not gonna be perfectly level, but just kind of level it. All right, you guys, this is gonna be the breakdown of the jack stands. This right here is gonna be obviously your threads. You're gonna use it to fine tune your level. This is for moving it a few inches. Don't want to do it if you got a really heavy piece of material already on there. So you're gonna have to loosen it. This is your tightening bolt. This is your washer that gets it to quick release pretty much. So you're gonna flick that washer up and you're able to move it. See that? You leave it alone, it's good. Flick it up, you move it. Set it where you need it to be. Make sure it's locked back in place, guys. Do not over tighten these things. Just a nice little turn. You don't need too much pressure on these things. So easy to thread out these bolts and then they don't work anymore. So loosen right there. So that's pretty much your jack stand. Be careful using any jack stands that have damaged legs. Any damages right here on these things right here. They can be really dangerous. They can be bent up out of whack, and if you put it on a little slope, these things will fall over really easy and hurt somebody. So make sure you always inspect your jack stands before you're using them. Another thing, a lot of people like to grease these things up. I don't mind that. I'll take them off and then I'll spray them with some WD-40 all up on these threads, but make sure they're off. I lent them out to a buddy, so I guess he sprayed them, but if you see right here, this WD-40 right here, if it gets down onto the neck, this washer no longer works. This washer, once it grabs, it just slips on that WD-40. So you can literally ruin a jack stand just by putting too much WD-40 on the damn thing. I don't see them come back. You can buff them off, but it's still there. It's still greasy. I think the only way you might be able to get it back is if you sandblast the thing, but who has a sandblaster readily available? So just be careful with putting WD-40 on these things. Like I said, just take off the head, spray it down, and that's fine. But put it back in place. Use the neck, kind of eyeball it. Right there looks level to me. I'm gonna lock it back up. Okay. So I don't know if you can see, this thing looks way out of whack actually. So get this one, lift it up, get it more or less level. So I'm using this piece of plate instead of a piece of pipe because I'm trying to show you guys how to lift up material. If you got you a 20-foot piece of pipe or a 40-foot piece of pipe and you're lifting it right here on the very ends, you're gonna get a real bad bow right here. It's gonna bow down. It's not gonna be easy to level. Probably won't even be able to level it, honestly. And I see people, every time I ask them to set up some jack stands for me, they'll set them up like this. You don't want that. You want to set it up, I want to say about a third, maybe a fourth of the way in on each side. And that's so it distributes your weight. You're gonna have some hanging off on this side, some hanging off on that side, and it's gonna straighten out this middle part. So there. About right here. I'm gonna show you what this third jack is for, guys, but for now I'm just trying to show you guys how to level. So there's pretty much like 3 classes of levels. Obviously there's more, but in the oil field there's about 3. You can have your 4-foot levels. This is more for laying out, getting measurements, stuff like that. Yeah, you can use it on big pipe, just set up pieces, level it out, but normally I don't really see this being used that often unless it's for laying out. Then you're gonna have your 2-foot level. Usually this is the one we use for big pipe or long pipe. You just set it on here. You wanna make sure there's no bellies in your pipe, so you'll set this one on here, as so. Then you're gonna have your torpedo levels. Different brands, these are the best, cannot beat it. Made in Germany. These things have lasted me, man, I think, maybe 2-3 years already. Versus the Empire, which I've always bought, but when I buy them at the store, I'll pre-test them. I'll make sure both of them are reading the same. Whichever 2 I'm gonna buy, I usually buy them in pairs. So I'll set them on the racks that they have right there next to the levels, and I make sure they read the exact same this way and inverted. So I make sure they read the same before I buy them. And then usually about a year after wear and tear being in your toolboxes, they start reading different. They're not the best. This is the best. Buy this. Okay. This one I usually use just for tool holding my flanges. We're not on that part of the series, so I'm not going to show you guys me tool holding yet. I'm trying to build you guys up from the bottom. If you guys think this is real basic, it's because it is, but I'm showing you guys the fundamentals to becoming a welder. So if you're gonna start as a helper, which you obviously are, I mean, it's very rare when you don't, you have to learn the fundamentals right. You have to learn everything correctly. If you don't have, your fundamentals are fucked up, your welding's gonna be fucked up. So I'm trying to teach you guys the right way. Anyway, so another thing you guys can do to be real useful out there is if you usually have, say this is like I don't know, some 6-inch pipe, about 8 foot, whatever, and your welder, say he welded a flange, we're welding a spool right here. He welds one flange right here. All this shit set up to weld right here. You don't want to wait for a forklift. Maybe he goes to take a piss, goes to take a shit, who knows. You can set you up a middle jack stand right here. Lift it a little higher, and then just flip this thing around for him when he's in the shitter. He'll come back and be surprised by you. Just like that. I've had some helpers that have surprised me like this. They've done it for, with 40-foot pieces of pipe. It was 2-inch. I wouldn't recommend anything above 6-inch because it's getting too heavy. You don't want to strain yourself trying to get up this metal jack. You can hurt yourself. But 6-inch and below, I'd recommend. Anything above that, just wait for a forklift. That's the only reason why I wanted to show you guys that metal jack. Normally I don't use it. If I do have really flimsy pipe, say some Schedule 40, I'm kind of struggling to level it out, maybe I'll use a third jack. The reason that is say I'm putting flanges on, I don't need the whole thing to be perfectly level. If it's a big old spool, I'm not worried about this middle part being perfectly level. It's gonna probably have a bow in it. All you're really worried about is gonna probably be about 2 to 3 feet, about right here, and then your flange. So, say I put it right here. Look, it doesn't want to get level because it's folding down right here. I don't know if you guys can see that in the video, but I'll put a third jack and I'll just lightly lift up. That fixes that. So you'll do that mainly for tacking. After I'm done tacked up, I'll probably take this jack out and let him roll it out. So level this out for him. I'm gonna slap a flange on here, boom, we're level. He's gonna tack it up, tack the top, tack the bottom. We're gonna roll it to the side, do the same process over again. So that's when I usually use 3 jack stands. I normally don't. I like to do with 2, but depends on your welder. So that's your jacks. These are going to be your levels. I mean, another thing you can learn, I don't know how good you can see in the video, but we're right here touching line. A thing I see a lot of helpers struggling with is which way to lift. So this bubble needs to go this way, and I'll see them lifting it up this way. Usually they do the opposite. I used to have that same problem. When I got it out of me was by checking my levels beforehand. So I would lift up the side of the level I thought. So usually I would think it was opposite. So I would lift up this side and I'd be like, oh, bubble travels up. Okay, well. And then I would lift this other side and I'd be like, obviously it's this one. So then you start learning. Till it becomes instinctive. It's going to take you a little while, but just learn that. Pick your levels up. Learn it. I mean, it's not hard. And that'll get you to be familiar with your bubbles. Other than that, it's really all you really need to know about levels. There's not too much into them. I mean, there's going to be different types of levels. You're going to start getting into degree levels, laser levels. It's a little bit different, a little more advanced. Like I said, I'm trying to start you guys at the fundamentals, and then we'll slowly build our skills and work our way to those. So that's your levels. Another thing, say you are fitting with your welders, guys, and you're taking out measurements. Another thing I see that's a problem is they're real timid on moving these things. So this isn't going to be a perfect representation of how to do it, but you'll get the point. So say he needs you at a certain measurement, say, I don't know, 1'2", 1 foot, fuck it. And you're struggling to get it level. So for me, I'm pretty close, but look, I'm on 1 foot up top. And I'm struggling to get it level. You're gonna see them trying to balance the bottom and trying to level it. Just get it on the top right. Get it to 1 foot. And now I'm struggling. Get it to 1 foot and then just give it little taps at the bottom with your foot till you're level. Little stuff like that. Like, I gotta go back. Little tricks like that to learn how to hold these things right. So that's usually all you're gonna use these for, is getting measurements, laying out shit. I think I should have put this video or this part in the first video, but you guys are gonna have to go and buy you a welding hood. I'm not teaching you how to be a badass helper to be a badass helper. I'm teaching you how to be a badass helper so you can become a badass welder. So you can buy yourself either hood. You can buy yourself both of these hoods. When you're first starting out, I would go with something on the cheaper side. Probably gonna lose it. And maybe just to even learn if you even like this shit. Maybe you don't even like welding. So this is gonna be your pancake hoods. This is gonna be your flip up hoods. They're called flip up because they have a flip up. That's why they're called flip up hoods. So pancake hoods, this is more for when you're already working, you're already welding, and you don't need to flip up as often. Even me, if I'm doing a test, I'm gonna use this one to grind. I'm not gonna use the fucking pancake hood to grind. I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna fuck up just because I'm trying to look cool. So get you a flip up hood. My first one was a Jackson flip up hood. This one right here is just a Northern tool. It's about 15, maybe 20 bucks. It's real cheap. And then usually they come with the Shade 10 complete dark lens right here in the front. Maybe use that, test it out, see if you like a Shade 10. But I would recommend going straight to a welding supply and buying you automatic lens. The ones we use are the arc ones, the singles. I would do a Shade 11 if I were you guys. I would recommend always going higher than what you think, because if you go lower, I'd made that mistake. I bought, I think, a Shade 8 trying to, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to do, go blind. I bought a Shade 8, couldn't fucking use it, way too light, blinds the shit out of you. You stop welding, you look and you're all fucking, you got vertigo and shit. You just don't, you're never gonna use it after that. You can't use a lighter lens and make it darker, but you can get a darker lens and use it for different circumstances. You can use a Shade 11, say it's too dark, you can use it for Healy arcing because that's a lot brighter. So You can still use a darker lens. You really can't use a lighter lens if you don't like it. So I would recommend shade 11 for your first one. 10, the minimum 10. Do not go below 10 for your first one. If you get a 10 and maybe you still want a 9, those are your eyes. I mean, I don't recommend it, but so that's that. And like I said, you're gonna invest more on your auto lens than you are on your hood. I think you should, because those are your eyes. You gotta protect them. This, you might not even like welding, so I mean, why do you need the baddest hood in the fucking on the market? Me, if I got to try again and restart, I would get me another Jackson hood, or I like those ones that are like chopped off, like they have like the sugar scoop, or even the Jackson one, I think, where they're just chopped up and they have a leather, just to let the least amount of light in. That's the main reason why we use pancakes, because they wrap around your face and they don't let any light coming into your hood. So whenever you're welding, you get all this side light coming in, and it kind of distracts you from seeing your puddle. So with these, it eliminates that problem. But you're just starting out, you're not welding, so this is perfect for watching your welder, getting down the whips, the tempos. That was another thing I used to do, is I would watch my welder all fucking day, all day long. And I would match his tempo. So you see him whipping, I would just flick my wrist with him. Just flicking my wrist. As he was welding, as he was putting them dimes on there, I would just copy it, copy it, copy it. And you, before you know, you go kind of fucking crazy, but it helps out a lot. Kind of see them putting in their beads, stuff like that. Another reason I would recommend these is because you're gonna get arc burn when you first start out. So arc burn, it doesn't matter that you're not looking directly at the light. Say this is the light. Doesn't matter if you're not looking directly at it. You can be standing right here, looking away from it. It's as long as it touches that eyeball, it's burning it. Okay. So what I like to do is I just around my eyeballs. Doesn't matter where it's at. I've been welding for 10 years and I still do this. If I'm walking by somebody welding, I always put my hand up, because it'll burn it so easy, and it's very uncomfortable. You're gonna be crying. You're gonna be trying to call out the next day. Everybody's gonna make fun of you, so stay away from arc burn, okay? Other than that, what else? I think that's really it, guys, on this one. Much on my part 2. I mean, I'm gonna do a part 3 where I'm gonna cover how to use grinders. I'm gonna cover how to do fit ups. So, I mean, this right now, I'm just breaking down these couple hand tools and your hoods, just so you know where to look, and fundamentals. That's what I'm really trying to teach you guys. So I'll see you guys in the next one.